Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts Arne and Carlos, and today we are in the greenhouse again, and it's a rainy day, so it's really nice.
Yeah, we enjoy the rain in the summer.
Yeah, so if you hear that strange noise, it's the rain, and now it stopped. Almost.
Well, if it comes back, it'll come back. It's very enjoyable to listen to rain on our greenhouse roof.
And I remember something that you told me to say. I think I remember it correctly.
Let's see.
Put on your notifications if you don't want to miss an episode.
A single episode.
A single episode?
Yeah. Hey, you said it. Okay, we're here with our Q&As, and today it's my turn to read and Arne's turn to knit. Last time, maybe I was the one knitting. I don't remember which one was the last time. But anyway, here we are with a new Q&A, and we'll just dive right into it.
Yes.
So Velma D is asking, what do you think about acrylic yarn? Do you ever knit with acrylic yarn?
No.
Well, this is a question that we get sometimes. But you know, being from Norway, we are from Norway, and in Norway, traditionally you don't knit with acrylic yarn. We have access to great wool, and Norwegians are a knitting nation, a nation of knitters from way in the past, and we have a climate that is perfect for woolen garments. And yeah, Norwegians love wool. We wear wool all the time. I mean, woolen long johns, woolen undergarments, woolen sweaters. So we are we're spoon-fed this since we are young children, that wool is very good for you. And so yeah, no, we don't knit with acrylic yarns. However,
I think some people do.
a lot of people do, but we don't.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, that's an option. That's an issue, yes, for some people.
But then you buy a lot of acrylic yarn and you spend all that time knitting, and in the end you may end up with something that isn't so nice.
Or that doesn't last long.
It can be a problem sometimes,
Yeah.
but
And
I don't like...
Yeah. In terms of costs of wool or yarns, a merino, a cashmere, a alpaca yarn will be very expensive compared to a 100% wool that is untreated, like an untreated wool which is not superwashed and is just a wool, will not be as expensive as a merino or alpaca yarn, a woolen yarn. So and those wools that are not treated and they are coarse, they last forever because they don't pill. So actually it's very economic to consider buying a good high quality wool, not the most expensive, not merino, not cashmere, but a high quality untreated wool. And then if you care for your garment, you can have that garment intact for 50, 60 years. Really. We have pieces in our archives that are 70, 80 years old, and you wouldn't believe the perfect condition that they're in. And they have been worn a lot.
Yeah, we have jackets from my great-grandfather, which I'm using every now and then, and they still look good. So
yeah, but sometimes a little bit of acrylic or man-made fiber, yes, it's good
That's
for
fine,
for the yarn. So for example,
100%.
a sock yarn should have 25% nylon in it so that it's durable. And that's okay for us, but 100% acrylic is not something that most Norwegians would like to knit with, I'm afraid.
Sorry.
Pam Jones asks, other than the ones that's fully booked, do you have any plans for further cruises or knitting retreats in the UK or Scandinavia? So right now we have talked to the travel agency that we collaborate with for the knitting cruises, and for the time being, we will probably do a cruise a year, maybe 2 cruises a year in the near future. So there's possibilities. Check our blog for information there. Subscribe to our mailing list. That's the best way to know, because if we open up something, we'll send out a mailing. And yeah.
And I would like to do something in the UK.
Yeah.
So we talked about it, or mentioned it for Rowan, like do something with yarn mills, and you can visit these country houses, the arts and craft country houses, which is very interesting for people who do art and craft. So we have plans.
Yeah. So
okay.
Sometimes there's plans, and we'll see how we can make reality out of them. Catherine B asks, when is your birthdays? I'm August 26th.
And 22nd of June.
Yes, so August 26th, June 22nd. Do you have any favorite birthday traditions or food? So Arne's favorite birthday food is pasta with scampi.
Yeah, but I normally don't celebrate my birthday.
No, but yes,
But
you do.
if someone asks me what do you want, I want cake with marzipan cake and
Oh,
seafood with pasta.
okay. I thought you were going to say you wanted the pavlova, the...
No, marzipan cake.
Oh, okay, so he wants a marzipan
Oh,
cake.
I can have both.
Okay. So marzipan cake and the pavlova for dessert, and he wants pasta with scampi.
It's seafood.
Every birthday. And no, we don't have...
And you?
No, I mean, I'm okay.
You want
No, I mean, I'm fine.
hamburger?
No. No, we don't have any particular traditions. We celebrate, sometimes we're abroad, sometimes we're in Norway. For our birthdays, Arne's birthday coincides with midsummer. So midsummer is usually on the 23rd, you're on the 22nd. So we will do something special because the light at that time of the year is so beautiful and it doesn't get dark here. And for midsummer, Norwegians, they light a bonfire. So Arne has a little bit more tradition in his birthday because of that. My birthday is in the late summer, in the end of August. Sometimes we've been in the south of France or Italy,
Or
and
in
sometimes or in England. Have we ever been in England on my birthday? No.
No, that was my birthday.
Yeah. So anyway.
No, you're more Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Merete Bratsberg Åe has a question.
Hi, Merete.
Hey, Merete.
We stayed in your house.
Yeah.
Or hotel.
Hotel.
Or bed and breakfast. Very nice place.
So yeah, and Merete, you have a question for us. If you make mistakes, how often will you rip up Frogget and do the work again?
Well, I'm working on a mitten now, and I managed to do a mistake. And I did it. I ripped up. I did the mistake one more time, or in another place. I ripped it up, and then I saw I lost the stitch, and then I had to rip it. I think I've done it 4 times now.
Oh.
So I can rip up if it's annoying.
Yeah.
Because if the mistake is annoying, I do it. If I just miss a stitch, I put the duplicate stitch on top. If it's annoying, sometimes I don't care. So it depends on the project.
Yeah.
And you?
Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of you know.
You're more picky than me.
I'm picky, but I'm also lazy. So I'll do anything to avoid ripping up, and then I'll get really annoyed that I didn't rip up, and then I'll rip it up. And by the time I have to rip it up, I've done more than I should have because the mistake is there, and I've already gotten to there. But yeah, I mean, nobody's perfect.
No.
What can we say?
What can we say?
But if you do some mistakes that are fixable, then we'll do what we can not to rip up.
Yes.
Okay, next question. What is the best wool blend for socks that we will wear well? The question, we just answered that previously. You need 25% of nylon. So the Regia brand, for example, it's 75% wool and 25% nylon. You could do like you could do a blend of natural, beautiful fibers. You could have alpaca and merino, but you still need 25% nylon. So 25 is a magic number.
Or if you use leftover yarn, you can use that nylon thread that you put in the heel to make it reinforced. Is that reinforced heel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, Arne. This is...
It's my favorite.
It's the Wasps Nest.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
This is the time, when we get into this, people send us a lot of hate. They really hate us when we talk about
and
this.
we will just say thank you, we love it. Bring it on.
So...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm already a little shaky because I don't like conflict. But anyway,
Bring it on.
bring it on. I'm confused by your use of dominant color. I've seen 2 videos where you state that Norwegians have no dominant color because of tension while knitting. The English meaning of dominant is ruling or major, most powerful, influential. So to me, in knitting, that would mean the most used color. For example, in your Christmas stocking video, you use more red than any color, so red would be the dominant color.
That's the normal way of thinking about color in the real world. If there's more color, it could be the dominant color, but sometimes
But that's not the issue.
No, that's not the issue.
So the issue is this. Look at my sweater now, okay? This is a gray sweater with navy here. So what is the dominant color? By your definition, the dominant color is gray. It means that it's a gray sweater with some navy detailing, okay? And wait. Let me do this. And that's fine. That is actually true. However, when people talk about dominant color, a lot of people talk about knitting with two hands and putting the dominant color in one of the hands, and the result being that that color will pop more than the other.
That's the problem.
So, for
It's
example, if you in the sense that if you take the dominant color as the gray one and you put that in your hand, when you knit up here, the gray stitches will become bigger, right?
Yeah.
Because that is supposed to be the way it pops. Or you could take the blue color and put it in your hand, in your dominant hand, or whatever they say,
Yeah, because
and then the blue stitches would become bigger and would pop more. And in Norway, the issue is tension, because then you have a different tension for the so-called dominant color that you don't have for the other color. And us Norwegians, we don't think of it that way, because a lot of sweaters in Norway, they are like this. They have a big surface of one color, and then they have a small design here, and then if you're knitting with a tension here, say you're knitting with 22 stitches per centimeter, per 10 centimeters here, what happens here if you start using that dominant color technique where the gray stitch is supposed to be bigger than the blue? Then the tension will change completely, and then you would probably have to change needles in order for the...
Well,
yeah.
But that doesn't
that's wrong.
help, because it's still a dominant color. So if you change needle, the big stitch will be even bigger. So it is a problem. And in the way we learned knitting,
in Norway?
In Norway. I think it's all over the world, actually, because the way you learn knitting is that you try to have even tension. You try to have the same size on each color when you do color work, but then you have people a lot of people, they hold the yarn like this. And then some people say, if the red is on this side, it should always be on this side. You can't do this, turn it the other way, because then one should be bigger. And that is not how we learned knitting. Yeah. If we pick from the finger and the stitches get uneven, then you let one go.
And then they say, and then a lot of criticism that we have received is that because we knit the way we knit, so we're not looking at a dominant color that is the color we're using the most of. When we're working on the needle, we look at the row, we see the row, and we determine how many stitches how many stitches do we have of each color, and which is the yarn that we will use the most. And the yarn that we will use the most is the one that we put over the finger.
That goes on the finger like this.
And then we throw with the other yarn.
And we do the English style.
It means that in some rows, in this sweater, maybe the blue is, you're using more, so the blue becomes the one that goes on the finger. And then on another row, maybe the gray goes on the finger. It means that the tension becomes more even for all the stitches, and then the criticism we get is that in that sense, no, then we don't have a color dominance because we have even tension on all those stitches.
Or we try to have it, that's what you try to have even tension, but you're not a knitting machine.
Yeah, but ARNE, but then the critics say, but I would love to see how your knitting looks on the inside, because then you are not doing the floats in a neat way. And the answer to that is, I'd rather have a sweater that is beautiful on the outside, that maybe the floats on the inside are not perfect, because you're wearing it, you know, and if you want to have perfect floats, then wear it inside out, I guess.
I saw a video, like one knitter was very upset with us because we talked about this, and then she had this long speech about Norwegian knitting, and she wasn't Norwegian. I think we are from Norway, and they should listen to us, because when someone tell me that someone blah 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 says you shouldn't do it, and who is this person?
Yeah.
And then when you talk about having a nice inside, why don't you use it inside out if the inside is so important? And there's another thing, if you look at the label, it's always written on the label how many stitches per 10 centimeter.
Yeah.
There's only one. This one is 20 stitches on 10 centimeter.
The recommended tension.
That is stockinette and colourwork. There's not one tension for colourwork and another one for stockinette.
Exactly.
Is it? And another one, I've seen videos where they show you how to do dominant color. No one tell you which color should be dominant. They say keep your dominant color on one way or the other. They never say which color. And we have an American woman who wrote to us. She lives in Norway, and she said that she was very happy that we did that video because most people don't dare to talk about it because this is very sensitive stuff. And she said that she bought yarn in Norway for a Norwegian sweater and she ended up with way too little yarn.
Because of the dominant color issue.
Because she had one yarn looser.
Yeah.
And then we understood when we had people writing to us and they're screaming like, I'm so disappointed because there's not enough yarn.
In the pattern.
In the pattern. We made it. We knitted those pieces ourselves. We know there is enough yarn. So if they stick with the tension and they use even...
Yeah, so to sum up, because this is a cultural thing, to sum up, in Norway, we did not know what dominant color meant until a few years ago, and most Norwegians are our age, older, and even younger. Maybe not the youngest, because the youngest Norwegians, they learn from YouTube, but any Norwegian from 30 and up who has knitted a long time will have probably heard about this dominant color thing very recently. In Norway, our knitwear design is different. We have bigger patterns on and less colors, and we like to keep the tension even so that we don't like to see a difference from one stitch to the other, and we don't like the colors to pop. We want them to be even. If you are from, I don't know, Shetland Islands, where you work with more colors and you have your own knitting traditions, maybe there is a dominant color thing there. I'm not going to talk about Shetland because I'm not from Shetland and we haven't studied their traditions, but it may well be that they have it. But in Norway, we don't have it originally. Now we have it because of YouTube, and it's okay. But personally, we think that there shouldn't be in Norwegian knitting.
But I have to say, we've been a lot around in like last time we were around in America touring, and we had a lot of people came up to us and said that they were really happy that we did that video, because a lot of these people, they have had perfect tension all their life, and now they go to classes and people are telling them that they're knitting the wrong way because they should have a dominant color. So they said they were really happy that we had the nerve to do it. Yeah. And I have no problem telling you that there should be any dominant color.
So I'm sure the comments now are going to be bubbling with hate and other things. Just hate whatever you like.
Someone said we don't know about these things because we're from Norway. I think we should know about knitting since we're from Norway.
Yeah, our colorwork traditions date back to 1840, and the dominant color thing is something that is new in Norway from a few years ago. So I think that
And it's a new thing to a lot of people, because when we do workshops, a lot of people talk about this and they don't know what it is. And we have met so many knitters now, like last time in America and on the knitting cruise with Hurtigruten. There was not a single person who were knitting with dominant color.
Yeah. So bottom line, if you think that the dominant color issue is very confusing, you are welcome to join our club, because we agree it's a kind of, for us, it's a non-issue because we don't care.
We try to avoid it.
But the best thing you should do is just knit and make sure to have nice tension on your color work, and that is really what it's all about. It's all about tension. You should not have, in the case of a sweater like this, you should not have the gray stitch bigger than the blue stitch, which would be tighter. Just keep to tension, enjoy your knitting. If the floats on the inside are not too perfect, it doesn't matter, because you're wearing the sweater with the floats inwards. If you want to have perfect floats, then I suggest you wear it inside out. Enjoy your knitting, and in other cultures like Shetland or whatever, there may be color work, but in Norway we don't aspire to having that.
But I have never seen a yarn from Shetland who says
I don't know,
different.
But we're gonna leave that to the Shetlanders to decide. It's not our territory.
If anyone from Shetland, please tell us.
Yeah, I mean, Shetland people can contact us if they have something to say. Norwegian traditions are different. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Yeah. I'm sure the hate is coming now.
And which color should be dominant in Carlos' sweater?
I don't know. It's a gray and blue sweater.
Someone needs to know it. Someone should know this, and they should tell us.
No. Well, tell us in the comments. So this is how we're going to leave it now. And I guess that in the morning, when this video is published, I'm going to be like that. When I start reading the comments, it's like, oh, don't be so mad at me. Don't be so mad at me. You know, in the end of the day, it's just knitting. We should all just enjoy it, have fun. Take these theories with a pinch of salt. If you don't believe us, don't believe us. Do it your way. If you believe us, believe us, do it that way. It's okay. In the end of the day, we should all
But don't
have
tell
fun.
us how we should do it.
No, don't tell us how we
Because
should
we're
knit
not
Norwegian
changing.
colorwork, because that is the one thing I think we do know.
I think we know.
So, thank you for watching. Maybe a lot of people are unsubscribing again. If you really hated that video, I'm sure that the thumbs ups are going to be coming in like like the
bring it
rain.
on.
And if you agree with us, if you love what we're saying, well, thank you so much for your support. And I'd like to encourage everybody to subscribe to the increasing Arne and Carlos family, because even if we don't agree with dominant color, there may be a lot of other topics that we agree with.
And thank you, Karen, for bringing it up.
Thank you, Karen, for bringing it up. I have been dreading this question for 1.5 years
No,
now.
I love to talk about it.
Yes,
I get
know.
so excited.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and see you again next time. Bye. Oh boy, what did we do now?
Bring it on.